Hey everybody, my name is Danita Chelsea and I decided to go live today so that I can talk about a very important topic. And today I'm going live to talk about what is a doula. I'm going to be looking at two different cameras, so bear with me if I'm not staring at your camera's view the whole time. But today we're going to be talking about what is a doula, breaking the myths of what a doula does and doesn't do. So again, my name is Danita Chelsea. I'm a licensed social worker and I'm also a doula. And today we're going to be discussing what a doula does because a lot of people do not know. I've interviewed several women and they have told me that they thought that a doula was a person who helps you once you have the baby and they do like the overnight feedings, changing the bottle, cleaning the bottles and sterilizing the bottles. But that is only one type of doula. So we're going to be breaking the myths today on what a doula does and doesn't do. So first things first, a doula is a medical professional who helps mothers and birth partners before, during, and after labor. That is the definition of a doula. What I mean by that is simply that a doula can help you during your pregnancy, a doula can help you during labor and birth, and a doula can help you after you give birth to your baby. So that's why we have three different types of doulas. The one who helps you during the pregnancy, the one who can help you during labor, and the one who can help you after. But your doula can help you with all of the steps. I feel like a really good doula will honestly help you with all of those steps, not just one and the other, but every doula has their own preference. Me personally, I'm going to help my clients in all three of the phases because all three are so critical to the whole birth experience of a human being. So again, that's what a doula does. They help you during your pregnancy, during your labor and birth, as well as after you give birth to the baby, so that's considered after delivery. There are also different types of doulas. Most people don't know that. A doula is not only the people with the babies. A doula can also be a death doula. I know that I did not learn about death doulas until very recently, and I feel like I could have definitely used one with my mom. So a death doula is more of a person who helps you out when you're experiencing a hard time with someone you love, losing them. Like when they're in hospice, for instance, a death doula would have been so helpful. I think that the benefit of having a doula, whether it's a birth doula or a death doula, is simply that you have an unbiased person there to help you, and they help you make more clear, level-headed decisions. Because when you're in the moment, whether it's birth, whether it's pregnancy, whether it's after birth, your emotions are all over the place. Whether it's losing a loved one, your emotions are very, very high. And this is why you need a non-biased person in the room with you who is not just a loved one, who is not just your husband, who is not just your mom, because they're emotionally connected to you, they're emotionally connected to the baby. Or if you're talking about a death doula, then they're emotionally connected to the person being lost in the moment. You need someone who's non-emotionally attached to the situation that can help you make clear, level-headed decisions. That is the whole purpose of a doula, to help you make clear, level-headed decisions after giving you enough education and information to have informed consent and make your own choices. So for the rest of this live, we're going to be solely focused on the birth doula because that's the type of doula that I am. So during pregnancy, the purpose of the doula is to help you with emotional and physical management of your pregnancy symptoms. That's what a doula does during your pregnancy. Whether it's helping you alleviate back pain, whether it's helping ease your worries about giving birth, whether it's to help ease your anxiety about giving birth, whether it's to show you different exercises to help you reduce the chances of tearing down there when you're giving birth, that is what a doula does. We provide emotional and physical support to the family as a whole, not just the mom, but as the whole unit. We provide support to you guys while the mother is pregnant. So this can look like exercises teaching you what to do to reduce the chances of tearing. It can also be to help you do exercises that will help you prepare for labor so that you will have an easier labor. We cannot guarantee that you will have a super easy labor, but we can reduce the chances of bad things happening, let's say. We cannot eliminate them, but we can definitely reduce the chances of them happening. For instance, did you guys know that you're not supposed to give birth on your back? That causes a lot of complications during labor and delivery. And so a doula will show you different positions you can give birth in instead. A doula will help you learn how to breathe through your contractions. A doula can even train dad on what to do during the labor and delivery other than sit in the room with you. There's even exercises where we teach dad how to like squeeze on mom's hips to reduce pain during contractions and while she's pregnant. So the doula doesn't just support mom, we also support dad because we teach you on birthing partners, period. I'm not going to just make it related to dads. That's just period. A doula can help the birthing partner support mom by teaching them what to do other than sitting there. I think a lot of times I see so many videos of people upset at dad for just like sleeping during birth, but this is not making excuses for them at all. But we have never taught dads what to do other than sit there. Like, how can he be of service? So a doula will literally teach dad what to do during the labor. A doula also provides emotional support. To me, this is huge because it makes a big, big difference in the way the mom feels after she gives birth, how she was supported during her pregnancy. Every woman I know who's a mother remembers the emotional support that they did or didn't get during their pregnancy. That is what a doula does. A doula provides emotional support to moms during pregnancy as well. Whether it's about tearing, or whether it's about postpartum depression, or whether it's about being able to breastfeed, a doula really provides a lot of emotional support to moms that is critical for the birth. Emotional support doesn't just have emotional benefits. Emotional support to mom has physical benefits as well, because our body releases different hormones that helps us to nurture our baby and to help them birth into this world. But if you're extremely stressed out, if you're extremely frustrated, if you're extremely scared, you're not going to necessarily give out those hormones that are needed to help your baby birth into this world. So a doula provides the emotional support to the mom to not only help her through the labor and delivery, but to also help her have a better postpartum experience. We all know about postpartum depression, but did you guys know that a lot of stuff that happens before you even give birth can contribute to the postpartum depression that so many women have because they did not feel supported during their pregnancy or because they did not feel heard or listened to during their labor and delivery? Yes, it's true. So that is what a doula does. A doula provides emotional and physical support to the mom during pregnancy, labor and delivery, and even postpartum. A doula can do something as simple as rub your back and help you breathe through contractions, and she can repeat out loud to you the different ways to breathe through the contractions. That sounds so simple, but that is so important because a lot of times when you're in excruciating pain, all that training might go out the window. Like, girl, I'm in pain. And you're talking about something I remember, the breathing exercise. I don't remember nothing right now except my private parts hurt. So a doula will repeat to you the steps necessary to breathe through your contractions, which makes a huge, huge difference. One of my really close friends said that she breathed through her contractions and it helped her to give birth naturally in a way that she never even thought she could do before. Another one of my close friends said that she gave birth even at home and that she breathed through her contractions as well. And both of these two ladies had the same experience. Breathing through their contractions helped them tremendously get through that labor with no epidural. So that's an example of things that a doula can do. Now, another example of what a doula can do, sometimes you might be the type of person who you don't want to be touched. It might be the opposite. No, don't rub my back. A doula can guide the birthing partner on what to do during the birth experience to support the mom, even without technically touching the mom. Another important, super important thing that a doula can do is that a doula provides, I would even say, anxiety support. Yes, anxiety support. Because during the labor, I watched one of these birthing videos in class, in my doula class, and it was so powerful, right? But in the video, the mom was giving birth, but the baby seemed like it was taking a while to come out, even though you saw the baby's head though. And normally you would freak out, start panicking, oh my God, you would freak out. A doula, even without even touching the mom, you can simply say, everything's all right. Mama, you got this. You got this, mama. Don't worry. Everything's okay. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. You got this. You're going to birth your baby into this world. Or you could repeat whatever the affirmations is that the mom chose to have for her birth. A doula can even tell dad, don't panic. I know it seemed like the baby taking a little long to come down the birth canal, but the baby's coming, I can tell. Every time I look, it's a little bit lower down. The baby's coming. Don't worry. We don't need to panic right now. That simple line, we don't need to panic right now, can have a tremendous positive impact on the mother and the birthing partner and the whole birthing experience as a whole. Because now, instead of having a birthing experience that's filled with anxiety and fear and panicking, the whole room is still calm. And no matter what you're doing in life, it helps so much more when you're doing things when you are calm. And I know birth is one of those things like you're like, how the hell can you be calm on birth? Girl, bye. But it's real. You don't have to panic during every part of your birthing experience. Even if you do scream, at least you'll know you don't have to panic during that part of the birthing experience. There's nothing wrong with your baby in that moment. That would at least make you feel better, help you to calm down, or it might even help dad to calm down. It might calm his nerves in the moment, like, okay, I'm gonna trust the doula. She said that nothing's wrong with my baby. It's taking a while to come down, but the doula said that the baby is coming down, so I can chill out. I'm gonna just let mom do her thing. That's a perfect example of the small yet powerful things that doulas do. We provide emotional and physical support to the mom and the birthing partner during pregnancy, labor and delivery, and postpartum. Now, once the baby's out, a doula can help participate in the newborn screening. We won't be the ones to do the screening at all, but we can be there if you want us to be, so that we can support you while your newborn is having all these screenings done. You might be like, what is that for? What is that for? And sometimes medical professionals, they have a lot of patients, so they don't fully explain things fully. A doula, one of our most powerful things that we do, I feel, is educate. Educate, educate. So a doula educating you can help you so much because it can help you make an informed decision on your own. Because it will also make moms feel seen and heard. Instead of just treating you like, oh, you're just a patient, it makes you feel like a person. And that matters so much. So a doula should also explain every step. What is going on? What is this? What does this mean? What does this do? Why are we doing this? What are the pros? What are the cons? A doula should come equipped with this knowledge already to know these things so that we could break it down for you what the medical staff is telling you. That way you can make your own informed decision about whether you want to consent to something or not. It is not my job as a doula to push my beliefs on anyone and say, don't get a cesarean, C-section. That's not what a doula does. But instead, the doula would tell you what are the pros and cons. And if you want to try alternatives to a C-section first, through exercises to help you open up more so that it reduces your chances of tearing, I should say, we can do that. We can try to do different exercises and different things, breathing techniques to help you reduce your chances of having a C-section if you don't want one. But I fully support your decision if you do want one. A doula's job is to give the person, the patient, as much education as possible so that the patient can make their own decision. But it's also our job to help you try our very best to help you fulfill your goal. Someone I know just had a VBAC recently, and I'm so super proud of her. A VBAC means a vaginal birth after a C-section. You know, when I had my first child, they told me that since I had a C-section, you have to get a C-section for the rest of your life. That's not true. Now today, here it is 11 years later, we know that's not true. That's false. So she proved them false by having a VBAC, a vaginal birth after cesarean. So the role of a doula in a situation like that would be when they first tell a patient you have to have a C-section if you had a you have to have a C-section once you have a C-section at all. Like once you have one C-section, you have to keep having them for the rest of your life. If anyone tells your patient that, your role as a doula is to debunk that and say that's not true. You don't have to have a C-section again if you don't want one. Instead, we can try this, and this to reduce your chances of needing a C-section. But keep it in your mind that all C-sections are not avoidable. Some are medically necessary. And so we're going to do what we need to do to try our best to reduce your chances of needing a C-section. So that is the role of a doula. Those are examples, clear-cut examples on what a doula could do. We would give you the pros and cons of the C-section. We would do exercises with you to try to open you up more to reduce your chances of needing a C-section. So those are examples. What a doula can do after birth. Before birth, I'm going to go back a little bit. During labor and delivery, so that's pregnancy, right? That's what a doula does for you during pregnancy. What a doula can do for you during labor and delivery, which means literally while you're having contractions and while you're pushing the baby out of your body, is to make sure that your birth plan is respected as much as humanly possible. A lot of times, moms are not always listened to, unfortunately, by medical professionals. And so our role as a doula is not to be a bulldog, but it's to definitely advocate for our clients and to help them advocate for themselves. If they say, for instance, I want to give birth not on my back, you will help your client call the hospital in advance so we can see what are the protocols. Are you going to allow my client to not give birth on her back? If not, we won't go there. We'll go somewhere else who will. We teach our clients to advocate for themselves so that they can have a birthing experience as closest to the one they wanted as possible. That's an example of how doulas advocate for moms during labor and delivery. So if someone comes in the room and they're trying to force mom to birth on her back, we're like, no, she's not birthing on her back. She said no. We're not doing that. That's not safe to birth on your back. She's not going to be birthing on her back. No. That's what a doula does during labor and delivery. We advocate for mom, and we teach the clients how to advocate for themselves as well as their birthing partner to advocate for them during labor and delivery. And then after you have your baby, so I would call that postpartum, as a doula, you can check in with mom, see how she's feeling, see how she's doing. You can also help her. This is not every doula, but maybe it's just the social worker in me. I would even help mom set up her future doctor appointments and even reach out to any professionals that she thinks she would need, like a pelvic floor specialist, a therapist, her GYN, and her primary doctor. And also a doula can also help you postpartum by doing things like cleaning the baby's bottles. That's like the famous video that you see circulating on the internet when you think of a postpartum doula. But for me personally, in my own doula services, my doula services are not going to consist of like washing out bottles and stuff, but instead I'm going to offer postpartum services to moms that are more mom focused, because I feel that once we have the baby, everyone's focused on the baby and no one's focused on mom. I don't want to just know if the mom can have sex. I want to know how she's doing mentally, because her body just went through a lot, and it's a lot to take in physically and mentally. And so my postpartum services for mom are going to include lactation support, meaning breastfeeding support. It's going to include, I can't do assessments for postpartum depression, but I can definitely make sure that there are therapists in my client handbook that I give to all my doula clients that will contain information for therapists so that they can know who to go to if they're experiencing not so great feelings postpartum. Make sure that the mom has the support that she needs. That is what my postpartum doula services will include, and it will also include belly binding, because I understand that as a mom, you know, maybe not right away, but eventually you want your body to snap back, and it's nothing wrong with that. Just like it's nothing wrong with the mom body not snapping back, I think it's nothing wrong with a mom wanting her body to snap back either. So I'm going to provide support to my clients through belly binding services so we can get that body back. Those are examples. But my most important tool would be my handbook for all of my doula clients that are going to include things like a pelvic floor therapist, an acupuncturist, herbalist, because I'm an herbalist. It will also include therapists who they can go to if they're experiencing postpartum depression. It will also include things that they should be asking their doctors, you know, because too often doctors get away with only assessing women to see if they're okay to have sex or nothing else. And that is not what a postpartum visit is supposed to be for. So those are the things that a doula can do. Now we're going to go into what a doula cannot do. So as much and as helpful as doulas are, something I was shooing something away. As helpful as doulas are not nurses. I repeat, doulas are not nurses, and we're not doctors, and we have no business acting as one. So doulas are not going to be giving needles. Doulas should not be assessing for postpartum depression. A trained medical specialist has to do something like that. A doula is not going to be giving you needles. A doula is not going to be taking your blood. And a doula cannot just assist in a home birth with no one else there, because it has to be a medical professional present for such a thing. A doula is not a clinical medical professional. So the difference between a medical professional and a clinical medical professional is the clinical ones are the ones who are going to be like taking your blood, taking your vitals, things of that nature. That is not what a doula does. That would be more of a midwife. So if you want to have your own birthing experience that's different from going to the hospital and a doctor, you are going to be looking for a midwife. A doula assists the whole family, but we cannot perform clinical services. So if you want clinical services like someone to take your blood, someone to take your vitals, that is a midwife. That is not a doula. And that is the difference between what a doula can do and what a doula cannot do. Hey guys, I'm just reading the comments. I see your comments below. Hello to you too. So, also, what else can a doula not do? A doula cannot make decisions for you. That's huge. It's like duh as it sounds. A doula cannot and should not be making decisions for you. It is our goal not even our goal, it is our duty to support the decisions of our clients. It is not our duty to enforce our beliefs on you. For instance, if I only believe in natural births, and I'm not saying I do, but if I only believe in natural births, it's not my duty to convince you to give birth naturally. That's wrong. That's not what a doula does. A doula supports the client's decision on what type of birthing experience she wants, as long as it's safe for her and baby. So if you see me leaning in, it's because I'm reading comments and trying to respond to them. So a doula, we're not supposed to enforce our personal beliefs on other people. We're not. For instance, I'm the biggest advocate that you should not give birth on your back. But guess what? If my client wants to give birth on her back, she has that right. I want to try to help my clients give birth naturally if that's what they want. If they're like, girl, get on my face, give me the epidural, you bugging. That is my responsibility to support the mom's choice. And she wants an epidural, you can absolutely still have a doula and give birth in a hospital. You can absolutely still give birth and have a doula and get an epidural. Our responsibility is to our clients first before anything, not ourselves. So we are supposed to support what the mom wants. That is the role of a doula. And that is something that I think we should take very seriously, because everyone has the right to the type of birthing experience that they want, as long as it's safe for them and baby. I don't want anyone to feel like, well, I do want a doula, but I want an epidural, so now I can't get a doula. No, you can still get a doula and you can still get your epidural. You do not have to choose. The whole purpose of a doula is informed consent, is not to take away your right to choose. And in fact, a lot of hospitals are even starting to offer doulas in the hospital. So just because you want to give birth in a hospital does not mean that you cannot have a doula. Many hospitals are implementing practices where they have a doula in the hospital, which is amazing. And Medicaid now covers doulas in a lot of places. So check which state you're in and see what your insurance covers, because Medicaid even covers doulas now. And there are not a lot of doulas that are certified to take Medicaid, but there are some who are. I will be one of the ones who will be certified to take Medicaid. So check with your state and see if they cover doulas. So I hope you guys enjoy this live. And this is, again, my name is Danita Chelsea. I'm a licensed social worker, but I'm also a doula. And today's session was about what is a doula and things that a doula can do and cannot do. So I hope you guys found this informative. My website is www.danitachelsea.com. That's DANITACHELSEA.com. And you can go there for more updates on what a doula does, different type of things like that, women's health especially, and even support after a miscarriage. So make sure that you go to my website, www.danitachelsea.com, to subscribe for more. And follow me on YouTube too. That's also on my website, so that you can really get more information to help yourself and others that you love make informed decisions for themselves. Bye.